Do you also love robots with tiny hats? Welcome back, my fellow gamers. It's me, Amanda, and it's my turn to talk about hot robots. I feel like I've earned this, so join me and let's count down the top 10 hottest robots in gaming ever, part 3. What makes someone hot, be they synthetic or organic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Number 10, Cogsworth. Cogsworth is obviously king for me, one of my top picks, which is why I'm putting him at the 10 spot, because he's my hook. I'm gonna hook you in here with Cogsworth. Now this is a robot who wears a hat, multiple hats actually. I personally love him in the bowler hat best when I'm playing Fallout, so you know, he automatically makes my cut because, as was implied in my intro and will be implied throughout this list, I'm a big fan of robots who wear little hats. Yes please. Not only that, but Cogsworth is also one of the few beings who is there for you in Fallout 4 when you emerge from the vault. He is one of the few people you can reminisce with on old times, as he's about as old as you are. I think dating someone close to your age is also important because, you know, you're able to really connect based on where you both are in your lives in the present. In the case of Fallout, in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where almost everyone you know has died, and you're on a mission to find and solve the mystery of your lost child. Both you and Cogsworth share and understand that, and he's a badass in battle with his buzzsaw and flamethrower arms, and he's also got endless jokes, which is for me a must. I love a robot who can make me laugh. And friends, before I move on to our next spot on this list, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Gaming and you love when we talk about hot robots, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Maybe we'll talk about more hot robots. There's definitely a lot more I'd love to tell you about. Number 9, Ennard. As a polyamorous person, I personally think being with Ennard would be super interesting. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, I want to get scooped. I think we should maybe take things a little slower, see where life takes us. I don't want to move too fast. As someone who has been in a few really long-lasting relationships in my life, I think it's actually best not to rush into things. I like to take things a little slower now, and I guess with Ennard, that would be my main deterrent in considering, you know, a relationship. I do think the idea of dating a collective consciousness of multiple animatronics would be pretty fascinating, but I also just hope that Ennard could, you know, get over their self-esteem issues and consider being their most authentic self while we dated. They don't need no person as a skin suit to date me, they just need to let their true selves shine through. Number 8, Bulkhead. Bulkhead is from Transformers Prime, the game, and was suggested by user Cyberworld Turtle Stories in the comments for Connor's Part 2 in this series. And while Bulkhead is a little, well, bulky for me, for my tastes, he is quite a tank of a transformer. I thought I would add him to my list anyways, because, you know, not all of these need to be my specific picks. It's not just about what I love, it's also about what you love. Bulkhead is a bruiser in the game and often is best utilized by just kind of like running in full force and like smashing his enemies before they have a chance to even really get their bearings. Although I do sometimes like those like robots who are a bit brash. This isn't really my ideal when it comes to my Robo soulmate's personality, but I can appreciate that for other Robo lovers out there, Bulkhead's tanky nature might just be the perfect thing. Like, you know, Bender and the Crushinator, which I ship, so I feel it. If you are a fan of Bulkhead, that's totally cool with me. Number 7, sad Robot Amumu. Everyone loves a sad boy, am I right? And clearly I'm no exception to that rule. I also love poor sad boys. Sad Robot Amumu is from League of Legends. Now technically Amumu himself in the League of Legends lore is just a mummy, but this is a skin that sees the character reimagined into a robot. Of course, a sad robot, because all Amumu has ever wanted in League of Legends lore is a friend, but he's cursed to have none, which is super sad. Of course, because he is so sad and forlorn and lonely, it only makes me want to befriend him more. Oh, I hate when people are sad. I'm just like, I just want to cheer you up. However, you have to be careful with Amumu because he has uncontrollable outbursts, which could kill you, kind of as part of his curse. However, I'm still confident that with the right protective armor, befriending him could be possible. I just need to get into that like invincible hazmat suit and then we can be friends, maybe more. So I would venture out to try to be friends with him if I could find that. Like I said, I love sad boy vibes. Maybe it's just a little emo goth that has lived inside me ever since I was younger. I don't know, but I'm here for it. Number 6, Charles. Or Charles. Charles is the AI glove that we wear in Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart has been getting a lot of hype lately for, sexy robots, and I thought it was only fair that since the twins and Nora were getting love on part 1 of this series, that I include some love for Charles here on our part 3. I mean, after all, Charles for many is the most likable character in this game, which is a bit sad to think about considering that Charles is literally a robo glove who is worn by the protagonist, who also turns out to be, well, not even quite what you expect him to be. Or I don't know, maybe you did expect Charles to be just what he's revealed as, considering how much more interesting he seems compared to so many of the other characters in Atomic Heart. Although I will say, while not a hot robot, for me, Granny Xena is still one of my favorite characters in this game, and I do find her interesting at least. So, there's Charles and Granny Xena. So that's 2. Number 5, turret. Did you know that sometimes turrets wear hats? Well, Animal King turrets do, or little crowns. We're talking about more robots that appear in Portal. In part 1 we talked about Gladys, but part 2 was surprisingly lacking for Portal robots, so I gotta bring it back with this part 3. While I could have chosen from a wide variety of excellent hotties featured in Portal, either highlighting Wheatley or perhaps cooperative testing teammates Atlas and Peabody, who I do also really love, I decided to highlight these little guys. In some cases, these big guys, because some of these turrets are pretty big. The thing I really love about turrets is, honestly, how cute they are. They're pretty cute, and they also make me sad when they're like, are you still there? It makes me want to run out, but I know I'm gonna get shot, so you can't do that. They also have great singing voices and come in all shapes and sizes. So really, there should be a turret soulmate for pretty much just about everyone. And as I said, the Animal King turret, who is huge, is typically shown wearing a crown. So bonus points for hats. Number 4, Rattrap. Everyone has their favorite Transformer and era of Transformers, but for me, the superior choice has always been Beast Wars. That's right, that's what I grew up, the Beast Wars era. And guess what? Of course there was a Beast Wars Transformers game, of course, and it was called just that, Beast Wars Transformers. Of course it is old and it's for the PS1, but it still featured one of my favorite characters from the series, Rattrap. There are likely a lot of people that think Bumblebee is hot, and I know Bumblebee is like kind of the current hotness in Transformers, but for me, Rattrap will always be hotter, will always be the hottest one. Beast Wars is a story where Transformers basically come to Earth during like the prehistoric era of Earth, which means that instead of transforming into vehicles, they transform into animals, because that's like the main thing on the planet, so that's how they like fit in. Rattrap, as the name implies, turns into a rat. He's loyal, brave, smart, and funny. What more could you ask for in a robo love personally? And he's one of the cooler ones because you had to unlock him as a playable character in the PS1 game, so he was more exclusive. Which to me, I always think they save the coolest ones for the ones you gotta unlock because they want to make you play the game to unlock stuff, but that's just my opinion. Number 3, Glamrock Freddy. Definitely one of the hotter ones on this list. Connor took a lot of my faves from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach on his part 2, but at least I was left with Zaddy Freddy, so I gotta talk about him. Glamrock Freddy is your pal and mine from Security Breach, who makes it his mission to make sure we, the players, as Gregory, survive the night and successfully get safely out of the Mega Pizzaplex. It's his caring nature, his style, and his big, sparkly eyes that make him a hottie to me. Number 2, Cortana. While Cortana might not be a traditional robot, I'd still like to count her on this list. Cortana is technically an AI, an artificial intelligence, who even seems to have her own personality and acts as Master Chief's companion and ally on his travels. However, in Halo 5, she goes from being an ally to a villain, which really only adds to her hotness in my books. When it comes to ladies I love, villainous ladies tend to rank quite high on my list. I love a woman, or an AI woman, who acts as a villain. I'm not really sure why. I feel like maybe it has something to do with them taking control and claiming power, even if it's maybe for what most would deem the wrong reasons. Add in the fact that Cortana has been pretty much a super smart hottie and cutie since day one, with an amazing voice, and yeah, I think I'm in love. Plus in Halo 5 she can take control of robots, so for that reason we can kind of count her on this list, which is why I'm doing that. I mean, what's better than dating the AI Cortana? How about dating like a whole Cortana controlled robo army? That sounds pretty hot. Then you could actually go on like real world dates with a robo army, which is pretty cool. So you'd also be protected, Number 1, Wally. Wally! Okay, so WALL-E is probably the most romantic robot in existence, I gotta say, which is why he has to make my cut. I love a little bit of romance. And I know what you're thinking, but Amanda, WALL-E is from a movie. But guess what, Robo lovers? There's a game too! Because this is Disney and this is Pixar and there are always games. Because it's always all about that money, honey. But in a relationship with WALL-E, I can't imagine it would ever be about just money or anything like that. It would be about watching classic movies and dancing in the moonlight. And as much as I love a big badass meanie, I also love a little sweetie too. In fact, I probably love little sweeties when it comes to robots even more. And while it might not be the most conventional, WALL-E is also a robot with a hat. He's got his little he's got his little like lid hat that he dances with, so bonus points for that. That's about it for this one. Until the next part, maybe. Till then, keep on gaming on. Pew pew!